This video is a tutorial on how to modify the Octagon or origami or 3D mask to use less of the print fabric. So I've made this mask for a lot of people and it is a favorite, but I have several fabrics that, several print fabrics that I feel are being wasted because so much of the mask is not visible. So this original pattern uses a 8" by 17" rectangle of fabric. So these are the measurements if you want to go ahead and try this to use less of your precious print fabrics that may be out of print or that you might be saving for quilts. So the first piece of fabric is this solid. This first piece should be cut at 8 by 8 inches. The other solid piece is 5 3/4 by 8 inches. And the print fabric you should cut 4 1/4 by 8 inches. And you can see here I have left off, or I've fussy cut this so that it will highlight the print. So in between these two plants should be what is showing. So go ahead and just sew these seams together using a 1/4" seam margin. Here is what your fabric will look like when the seams are sewn together. And I have just pressed my seams to either side. I thought I would just make a quick video about how I make this mask because the original video is great, but it is for advanced sewers it can be kind of long to sit through, so I thought I would just share my technique and some modifications that I've made to the pattern. So the next thing that you want to do is you want to fold both ends in a 1/4" times 2 and then just sew a finishing seam along those, and I'll do that now. So I have gone ahead and added the top stitching to both ends, and the next thing you want to do is you want your print this way if you're using print fabric, and you're going to fold down the top so that it measures 5 inches and press it. And then you want to fold up the bottom just so it covers that seam, and it should be about 3 inches, which it is. Press that on your cutting board, and what I do is I mark each side at 1 1/4 inch. I'm just using a pencil. You can use a fabric marker. And then you want to measure from the 1 inch mark here down to the 1 1/4 inch and draw a line. Do that on all 4 corners, and then you are going to stitch along this line. Stop at your 1/4" seam, sew all the way down to this line and sew along the line. Do the same thing on the other side. Go ahead and cut off your corners. And then turn it inside out, making sure to press out those corners with your fingers. And it should look like this. And then we're going to go back to the ironing board. and give it a good press. I want to make sure that these corners are nice and crisp. Next thing that you want to do is do a top stitching along both the top and the bottom edges. So up until now, I've just used my basic sewing thread. This top stitching would technically be visible, but it would be on the inside of the mask. All the stitches that I do from now on are going to be visible from the outside of the mask, so I have switched to a corresponding thread. I'm going to just do that top stitching now. So here is how it looks with your top stitching, and now you want to go ahead and turn it over so that the filter pocket is in this section. And you're going to fold down about 2 inches from the top, and it should be just about where the solid and the print fabric seams meet. And then press it, and then fold up 2 inches. It is a little short. But we're gonna go ahead and press that. Now the next thing you want to do is take your elastic, and I'm gonna just sew my elastic into the sides. In the original video, she creates tabs that she threads the elastic through, but I like just sewing my elastic right into the sides of the mask. So space it in about 1/2 inch, and then you're going to sew like that, and same thing on the other side. And you're going to just sew down 1/4 inch here and 1/4 inch here with the elastic. You're going to have a lot of bulk here, so you might get stuck. When I start, I sew a couple of stitches, and then I sew to the edge just to secure that elastic, and then back stitch to the 1/4 inch margin and keep sewing down. Sew in to secure that elastic as well as I can. Back stitch. Do the same thing on the other side. Backstitch again and clip. We'll cut these threads later. So now it should look like this. All you have to do to finish the mask is fold up like that, and then we're going to sew 1/4 inch from your previous 1/4 inch seam. I start at the top and that's going to add some more security to where that elastic piece is. That's why I had it go in 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to back stitch over this seam to make sure it's secure too. And then just sew all the way down, folding down the other half. Do the same thing on the other side. And clip your threads. And here's what it looks like finished. And you just need to add your cord box. And that's how it looks. Clip your threads. That's it. Here is a quick video just to show you the finished product, how it looks and how it fits. The sizing in the video is for women's sizing, but I will also include measurements for men's sizing that I use in the comments. And you can also see, although I wear glasses, that they really don't fog up with this pattern.